Welcome to It's Not Just Menopause, the podcast that empowers you to navigate midlife with confidence through real talk, root cause insights, and no BS strategies that actually work. If you're dealing with fatigue, stubborn weight, brain fog, or just feeling off and overlooked, this show is for you. Discover what's really going on with your hormones and why it's not just about estrogen. Each episode breaks down what your doctor didn't explain, the internet got wrong, and what your body's been trying to tell you all along. From stress and metabolism to nervous system support and functional nutrition, we'll cover the tools that help you feel more like yourself, again, without restrictive diets, overwhelming plans, or hormone hype. I'm your host, Cindy Stickle, functional nutrition practitioner and certified menopause specialist. I'm here to guide you through the midlife noise so you can stop guessing, get the clarity you deserve, and finally take back control of your health. If you've ever felt dismissed, overwhelmed, or like your body just isn't responding the way it used to, you're in the right place. Let's rewrite the menopause story without the fluff. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of It's Not Just Menopause. I'm Cindy Stickle, functional nutrition practitioner and certified menopause specialist. Today I'm going to be doing something a little different. I'm going to be giving you an update, and a real one, about me. It's 8 weeks in on my GLP-1 peptide journey, and I have data, clarity, and some things that I just want to say. So if you've been following along since, for any length of time, especially episode 119 when I talk about my journey, you know why I said yes to this. And if you're new here, welcome. I'd encourage you to go back and listen to that episode first so you have the full context. But today it's about what happened since then. So 8 weeks of real data, okay? 8 weeks of paying attention to my body, and 8 weeks of becoming more and more convinced that this conversation needs to happen more openly in the menopause space, because I'm not just sharing my experience today. I'm advocating for this tool, and I want to tell you exactly why. So where am I at week 8? So let me give you the numbers first, okay? So by the start of week 8, which is what I'm recording right now, so you're going to hear this on when I'm starting week 9. So but as of the start of week 8, I have lost 10.8 pounds. I'm not getting side effects, no nausea, no fatigue, no side effects that have made me want to quit. Giving myself a little injection, but those injections do not hurt. The needles are so tiny, but zero side effects. And I know that might surprise people because the horror stories are loud online. And I want to be honest that side effects are real for some women, but they aren't universal. And I think the loudest experiences tend to drown out the quieter ones. So my blood glucose is continuing to lower, which matters enormously for women in menopause. And I will come back to that in a minute. And here's the part I really want you to sit with. I'm still microdosing. I have not increased my dose to chase faster results. I'm not in a hurry. I'm watching how my body responds and letting that guide the next step, because this isn't about pushing harder or moving faster. It never really is. So I want to clear something up because I've seen a lot of confusion about this. Microdosing doesn't mean what most people think it means. It's not some experimental fringe approach. Microdosing simply means starting at the minimal dose and staying there intentionally. It's the minimal dose where you're still getting effective results. Okay, and this is the dose I'm on, is the first dose that they start everyone on pretty much. And I've been there the whole 8 weeks, okay? And here's why that matters beyond just the results. Microdosing is also what minimizes, and in many cases completely eliminates, the side effects that scare most women away from even trying this. The nausea, the fatigue, the digestive issues that get talked about constantly online. A lot of that happens when doses increase too quickly. So when the body is asked to adjust to more before it's ready. then that's, you get those side effects. Staying at the minimal dose gives your body time to adapt, and it's not forcing anything. It's working with your physiology instead of against it. And here's something else that most people aren't talking about. Before we get back to today's episode, I've got a quick question for you. Feel like your body's in chaos, but your labs are normal? You're not crazy, you're not broken, and you're definitely not alone. If you've been told it's just menopause or to wait it out, it's time for real answers. Take my free quiz, What's Really Driving Your Menopause Symptoms. In under 2 minutes, you'll uncover your top hidden stressor and get my free guide, The Menopause Stress Fix, sent straight to your inbox. Head to cindystickle.com/quiz or click the link in the show notes. If you're doing everything right, but still feel like a mess, this quiz is your next step. All right, let's get back to today's episode. As the dose increases, so does muscle loss. And that is really a big deal for women in menopause. We are already fighting to hold on to muscle mass. Estrogen decline makes it harder. Muscle is what supports your metabolism, your bone density, your strength, your energy. Losing it is not a trade-off I'm willing to make for a faster number on the scale, because making up for that muscle loss is almost impossible. So microdosing lets me get the benefits. I've got the appetite regulation, the blood sugar stabilization, the steady weight loss without accelerating muscle loss. And I'm still strength training while I'm on it. Okay, which is super important. But that's the whole point. Most protocols are set up to increase on a schedule. So by week 4, you go up to another higher dose. And then week 8, you go up again. The assumption is that more medication means more results. But I'm not following that playbook right now. My body is responding. The scale is moving in the right direction. And my blood glucose is improving. And I feel good. So why would I increase just to follow a timeline that has nothing to do with what my body is actually telling me? And plus, I don't want to lose muscle and being sick, right? And so that just doesn't make sense to me. And in midlife especially, I think we have to stop letting protocols override our own data. Your body is always giving you information. The question is whether you're paying attention to it. And I'm paying attention. And right now, my body is saying stay right here. So I am. So that dose is staying the same. If and when I need to increase it, then I will think about it, right? So I want to spend a real minute on the blood glucose piece because it tends to get glossed over, and it shouldn't. For women in perimenopause and menopause, insulin resistance is incredibly common. And here's why. Estrogen, we don't realize how important estrogen is till it's no longer in our body, right? But estrogen plays an active role in how your cells respond to insulin. When estrogen is steady, your cells are more sensitive to insulin, which means they absorb glucose efficiently and your blood sugar stays relatively stable. As estrogen declines, that sensitivity changes. Your cells don't respond as easily. Glucose stays in the bloodstream longer, and your body has to work harder to manage it. And this is why so many women in midlife experience energy crashes in the afternoon. It's why cravings get louder. It's why belly fat accumulates even when nothing has changed in your diet. It's not a willpower issue. It's a metabolic shift that most women are never told about. Watching my blood glucose continue to lower tells me my body is becoming more metabolically responsive. And if you've listened to some episodes, you know that I have a long history of metabolic imbalance in my body. But my cells are doing their job more efficiently now. And that ripples out into energy, mood, cravings, sleep, all of it. That's not a side note. That's one of the most important, meaningful changes that I'm tracking. Okay, so I want to be really clear about something too, because I know that this definitely is important. Peptides, which All these are peptides. Our body makes peptides, but the GLP-1 is the one that's weight loss more. But they didn't fix my nervous system. They did not repair my sleep or eliminate my stress. They did not build sustainable habits for me or rewire decades of patterns overnight. What they did was quiet some of the noise, the constant hunger signals, the blood sugar swings that made it harder to make good decisions, the mental chatter around food. That quieting created space. And that was space to make better choices, space to be more confident, and space to actually feel the work I was already doing. But the foundational work was still mine to do. And that's the part that I don't want anyone to skip. If your nervous system is dysregulated, if your body is running on cortisol and depletion, if you haven't addressed the root causes underneath your symptoms, a medication alone is not going to get you where you want to go. It might move the needle, but it won't hold. The roots matter. They always matter. And the GLP-1s work best when they're one part of the bigger picture. They're not the whole plan itself. And here's what I know after almost 30 years of watching my health, from gestational diabetes 30 years ago to Hashimoto's 25 years ago. I've been doing this a long time. Women in perimenopause and menopause are not getting the full picture from their doctors. Your OBGYN, they're trained as surgeons for C-sections. They know nothing about menopause unless you actually look for a doctor that actually has menopause training. Okay. And so that's why you're being dismissed. That's why you're being told your labs are normal when you feel anything but normal. That's why you're being handed a prescription on the way out the door with no context, no support, and no conversation about what else needs to be in place for it to actually work. Or you're not being offered it at all, and you're suffering in silence, wondering why nothing is working. And you need to be careful with your doctors because, again, they have no training on these medicines. They're allowed to prescribe them because they're a doctor, but they don't know anything about it. So they're going to put you on that automatic, like every 4 weeks, increase it, and that's just going to make you sick and lose muscle mass, more likely. So reach out to me because I know what's needed for menopause. Okay. And then if they do, it's not okay for them to treat you this way, to either not offer you anything at all or to just give you the prescription and not even talk to you about it, right? That neither one of those is okay. And the stigma around GLP-1s makes it worse. I mean, I've heard the comments, women feeling like they're cheating, women feeling like using medication means they failed at doing it the right way. Hey, I'm on thyroid medication for 26 years. And that's something that I have to stay on. So there are some medications that people have to stay. Is that cheating? No. People on blood pressure medicine, people are on cholesterol medicine, you call them cheating? No. But when it comes to GLP-1s or peptides, they're all like, oh, that's cheating. No, it's because your metabolic health is struggling. Okay. And women who are too embarrassed to ask their doctor about it because they don't want to be judged, right? So I want to say this as clearly as I can. Using a tool strategically is not cheating. It's not a shortcut. It's not a sign of weakness or failure. It's you taking your health seriously enough to look at every option available to you. And as a menopause specialist, it's my job to make sure you have the real information, not opinions dressed up as facts, not fear-based messaging, no, not shame, not some influencer who doesn't even need to lose weight, selling this to you. And I'm not saying this is the right choice for every woman. I'm saying you deserve to make that decision from an informed place. And like me, I never thought I'd take it, but the more I studied it, the more I realized with my metabolic dysfunction, basically for 30 years, I needed this big time. And so if you use your data and support and you're with someone in your corner who understands the full picture of what's happening in your body right now? And that's a conversation I want to keep having, because I'm the one that can help you in all those areas. And because the DMs about this have been nonstop, I created something specifically for women in perimenopause and menopause who want to understand peptides, what they are, how they work in the context of midlife hormone shifts, what to consider, what questions to ask. It's called the Perimenopause and Menopause Peptide Guide, nothing fancy. The link is in the show notes, so please grab it. You can reach out and book a call with me. You can even order some through me. So just, talk to me because I have all the information. But it's the kind of information your OB probably isn't handing you on the way out the door, right? And you deserve to have that. So before I wrap up, I just want to leave you with this. If you have been curious about GLP-1s or peptides, felt shame around it, I hope this episode gave you a different perspective. If you've been following my journey and wondering how it's actually going, now you know, and I'll still keep you posted. And if you're somewhere in the middle, just trying to figure out what's right for your body, that's exactly where I want to meet you. You deserve the information without judgment. You deserve support without pressure. And you deserve to make decisions about your own health from a place of clarity, not fear. I'll keep sharing this journey as it unfolds with doing it honestly, transparently, and with all the data that I gather on myself. And if this episode resonated, please share it with a woman who needs to hear it. Or please leave a review, because the more reviews that episodes get or podcasts get, the podcast software gods, Apple and Spotify, they share it with more people. So then more women will see it. It's not for me to say, oh, I have all these reviews. It actually helps with the algorithm. Okay. But I just definitely wanted to thank you for being here today, and I will be in your headphones next week. Thank you for tuning into It's Not Just Menopause. I hope today's episode gave you real clarity about what's actually going on in your body and reminded you that it's not just your hormones, and it's definitely not your fault. If you found value in this conversation, make sure to follow the show so you never miss an episode. You can also connect with me on Instagram at Cindy Stickle Nutrition, or head to cindystickle.com for more resources and personalized support on your menopause and midlife health journey. Until next time, keep questioning what you've been told and trust that your body is not broken. You just need the truth and the tools that actually work.